Yep, that's me. I recently decided to create a video game for the FBLA Computer Game and Simulation Programming Competition. Why? Well, I thought, hey, how hard could it be? Spoiler alert, it's really hard. Especially when you've never written a line of code in your life. How did I go from knowing nothing about coding to winning second place at regionals and sixth in the state of Colorado? Well, I have no idea, but stick around because I'm about to take you through all the highs, the lows, and the many bugs of my first game development adventure. First things first, let's talk about the FBLA competition. The Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA, hosts this annual event where students showcase their skills in various categories. I chose computer game and simulation programming because, why not? No one ever does it, so I thought it would be a free spot at state. Well, usually, no one ever does it. More on that later. It sounded like a fun challenge, and boy was I right about the challenge part. For this event, you must code a game that meets the specific FBLA requirement. This year, we had to make an adventure game with a storyline incorporating the FBLA goals, concepts, and/or history. The game must be playable on Windows 10, Mac OS, or a modern web browser, be compatible with a maximum ESRB rating of E10+, be secure and bug-free. Okay, rules are meant to be broken, right? And include a hero, at least one villain, use of the arrow keys for movement and other keys for actions, some sort of scoring, win/lose screens, and at least 2 levels. So, why did I decide to dive into game development? Honestly, there's a mix of curiosity, a desire to challenge myself, and a really bad idea. I've always enjoyed playing video games, but making one? First step was figuring out where to start. I knew absolutely nothing about coding, so I turned to the internet and my trusty Control-C. I found a few beginner courses and tutorials on YouTube and discovered some absolute heroes like Teradev, Brackeys, and so many countless others that I dove into courses online on the Unity's website to learn how to use Unity and how to code with it. Of course, there were many moments of doubt, like a lot of moments of doubt. I look at the code and think, am I ever going to understand this? No. Now, for the actual game. Me and my team brainstormed ideas for about 20 minutes and finally decided on an extremely original idea. A 2D platformer where you play as a chicken whose mom was kidnapped by an evil biker gang, go through a plethora of levels to find and save her, collecting coins, defeating ducks, and finding secrets along the way. Now, you might be asking yourself, isn't this just Mario? Maybe. Yeah, it's basically the exact. I was tasked with being the coder for my team, so I had to, code the game. I started off with movement. By that, I bought Teradev's Ultimate Movement Pack. A truly good movement pack that I would recommend to anyone coding a platformer. Well worth the money. After that, I coded some coins, enemies, and other lots of brainy stuff and smart people. Basically, I followed a couple of YouTube tutorials and the Unity videos that were on their website. After a little bit more coding, the base game was done, with a few bugs. And I procrastinated for about a month, or 2, or 3. Then, I added art that my friend made into the game, and the game was really coming together. We then added some music, which we borrowed. Going into the regional competition, we were ready. Well, as ready as you could be. Going into the competition, we were expecting less than 4 teams. A quick note, FBLA Regionals takes 4 teams for each presenting group, and the 4 teams then go to states. So we weren't too worried, until we got there, and there was over 7 teams. This meant we actually had to present and be in the top 4. After a few delays and one of the judges leaving halfway through, we finally went in and presented our awesome game. Luckily, the judges loved it, and they loved our story. Although they couldn't beat it, they really liked it overall. Then, after what felt like forever, we got our results. Walking up knowing we were in the top 4 felt awesome. After they called each team that we beat, we got more and more excited. Finally, we were called up in second place. This was insane to us, as we didn't really even think we were gonna make it. After about 2 months, and no work on the game, it was time for state. Our game was probably good enough, right? I made a few visual changes and fixed some of the bugs that I understood how to. And we were ready. My team presented on the first day of the 3-day-long state event and felt we did awesome. Right after, we jumped into the pool and started to relax, totally forgetting about our presentation. That was until early morning the next day. I was in the gym working out, getting all those gains, when I learned our team had made it to the finals, meaning we were in the top 10 teams in the entire state of Colorado. Yes, our little buggy 3-level Mario clone had made it into the top 10. This meant that the 3 of us had about 30 minutes to shower, change, and get ready for our final and most important presentation yet. And we totally nailed it. We feel we couldn't have done much better, unless we didn't make a trash game, but you know. The next day, we were called onto the stage and given our 6th place hint. The whole thing was wild, and I never believed we would have gone that far. We didn't make it to nationals, but next year, FBLA better watch out. So, to anyone out there who wants to make a game but doesn't know how, don't listen to me. Listen to Spider-Man and take that leap of faith. You'll never know where it might take you. There is a link in the description if, for some reason, you want to play the game. Fair warning though, it's a little challenging and there's a few bugs, but I would appreciate it. If you enjoyed my journey, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.